Oh! Ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and fellow Tower of God Season 2 anime enjoyers, lovers, and haters. Welcome back to another episodic reaction of the Tower of God Season 2 anime, episode 21. With me as your host, Chris Allen, and my compatriot in crime, the cowboy hairline.
Yo.
So, we saw episode 21, the hairline. This means we are nearing the end of the workshop battle and the end of season 2, because there's 26 episodes, right?
26? Yeah, I hope so. If there's like less than that, I'm a little worried because it still feels like we have a lot to go.
I'm happy if there's less, honestly.
I don't know. See, the issue, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because this is the only time we're ever going to see the workshop battle. So more episodes is good, right? Because that means there's space and there's like more, time
opportunity to
make
not
up
rush
the details
it.
And stuff.
Yeah. I personally think like it's already beyond, like it's hard to say, right? But I think it's beyond fucked for me, where I had an image of how this is gonna be, and the fact that we're this deep in and it can't be rectified anymore, right? The copium's done, the hopium's done.
Yep.
It's just past the point of what it can be salvaged to, and I'm just like, I don't care anymore. Just get it over with so we could get a new studio already. Like, the workshop battle, sadly, it's not terrible. It's passable by TOG standards. You know, by Tower of God Season 2 anime standards, not by actual standards, but you know, at this point, I just want, I'm just willing to say, listen, sacrifice it, cut off the bad arm, and keep going forward.
Right? Yeah, maybe the workshop crawled so that the next, season could run or something.
Man, it doesn't make sense though, because we had something better last season. It
does. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I'm pissed off because I feel like the reason they changed is because people complained about season 1. And what a mistake that was, man. If that was the case, I don't know if they already had it locked in, if they were gonna change from the beginning, but like that change was one of the biggest mistakes they did. But I've also heard there was like a lot of controversy with like within the animation studio, like working on it and something like that. Like, I don't know. It's I think that, but also it's weird because they had 4 years to do it. Like season 2 was hinted right at the ending of season 1. So it was already like known that they were going to be working on it. They had 4 years to work on it, which I think is enough time. I don't know. I mean, we're all not animation people here. We're just kind of saying things, but I think that's enough time to make this come out good. But
well, to play devil's advocate here, they sometimes put those in at the end of the season without even having greenlit the second season just yet. I don't know if that's the case for Tower of God, but a lot of anime
that could be it. Yeah, they did greenlight it short. I don't want to say shortly after, but maybe like a year after season 1. They showed the poster, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they don't get any like, they don't get the benefit of the doubt, I suppose.
Yeah, that's the biggest regret, I think. Just the fact they didn't keep consistent with the anime. Because now, if they do change, which they absolutely should do, change animators, it's going to be awkward. Because now every single season is going to have a different animator.
Yeah.
Unless they go back to season 1.
Please go back to season 1. Please go back to season 1.
But it's going to be very weird.
Please, I don't care. This could be especially
a series like Tower of God, right? Where this is a long series. So if you're watching from beginning to end, it's going to be weird where it's like you watch season 1, 2, 3, and you're like, wait, this thing's like flippy floppy, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not only the art, but like the direction too, because you have like a director kind of like doing this sort of thing. So what the previous guy was cooking, the next guy could throw out the window, right?
Yeah.
Because Tower of God has a lot of these things, and for all these, like not only anime onlys, but like especially like people who read the webtoon, that like Tower of God has a lot of things where like they lay the seeds very early, and then you reap them like super late into the story, like maybe like 100 chapters after, right? It's like what some person could set up, one director could set up early in like, season 2 or 3 or something like that. When we go to season 4 or 5, hypothetically, like if they don't pick it up, it screws everything up. You know what I mean? So it would be really good for something like Tower of God to have more consistent animation, but right now we're kind of in a state where we need a change. Like there's like season 1, people were like flirting with the idea of it, and now we got the change and we need to go back. Like you gotta press the like F word, go back. Yeah, like
the rewind button, YouTube rewind.
Yeah, you gotta hit the rewind. So but yeah, let's talk about the episode, right?
What name is the studio? What name are they so they could get publicly shamed?
What is it? Answer? Let me make sure I'm saying that right.
Okay. So we know who did what here. We know who to blame.
The Answer Studio is for season 2.
They are not the answer. They are not the answer at all.
And let's see what was for season 1, just to confirm. Yeah. Just so I know, because I actually don't even know.
Imagine
Telecom Animation.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's Telecom and then the Answer Studio. So.
Okay.
Oh well, I guess we'll see what happens moving forward. But yeah, let's talk about this episode. Okay. So I guess I'll just go first since I'm already talking. Yeah, I'll speed run through this stuff.
Okay,
I don't think there's really much. So this is a setup episode. Not too much going on. I'll talk about some of the good stuff I liked. There weren't too many instances where I felt like the animation broke me, which is something I have to talk about in this anime. Apparently, I have to mention that every time. Where it's like it kind of broke my immersion because it was so bad. So there weren't many instances of that. The only instance that really bothered me was when Bomb was running on the CCTV.
Oh yeah.
If you can find that.
I can find that. I think it's when Kun just got into the thing and he was looking at it. Let me see.
Yeah, while you're looking for that, I'll just continue. So that was pretty goofy, but it was such a small thing. It didn't really. Oh, you have to go a little bit back. Yeah, right here.
So Let's here, see. When I saw this, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, this looked really goofy.
It looks like a video game.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I'm just gonna say the cameras are maybe like 180p, so maybe that's why it looks like that. Okay, fine. I'm not too butthurt about that. Another one thing I liked was the chibi moments they had. They had some funny moments because we were kind of like in the in between of rounds for this game. So we had the moments where Yua discovered Vespa and was freaking out because she thought it was like a big bug. We had the instance where Kun is like, "Rack, hide your face," and he puts on the executioner mask, and it's like, "Oh, this right here, isn't this perfect?" Come on, guys. Even if you don't like the anime, I feel like you gotta give him props for that. Like. I think that's true to the manhwa, if I remember correctly. I love it. It's simple. They do the simple things really well. Like I remember in the first part of season 2 where they like tied up the people in the trustworthy room or whatever and had them like shaking like
Yeah, I remember.
All tied up or whatever in the chibi art. I love that. Like little things like that make me enjoy the anime. It's kind of funny. See, we didn't have much fighting here, so there isn't much fighting to comment on, which is good, I think.
Yeah, that's the sad part. When there's less fighting, it's a better episode.
Yeah. The one thing I struggle. So this is where I kind of go to the bad parts of this episode, and this is something that I'm a bit upset about because they usually did these things decent.
This is how Adrian looks right here.
Yeah. They usually do these things pretty decent, right? And this is the storytelling, I guess. So it felt like this whole workshop battle has been rushed, obviously, but something that I'm struggling is like keeping track of what's going on in the rule set. I feel like they don't really do a good job of reminding the readers the rules and everything, and trying to make sure that like you have.
Who the hell is this?
Yeah, because right now we're knowing the characters and all the players involved. Like they didn't really do a good job of fleshing out all the characters in the workshop battle, and a lot of it is maybe like of course it's because of, like time constraints, but also like they didn't really put the effort to add these people to the story. They could have done better even with the time constraints. So it's not an excuse.
They focus on random bullshit rather than the important stuff.
Like the guy hitting the bell when they lost or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's very simple ways to fix this to add 0 time to the story. And what I have in mind is something along the lines of like just putting text on the bottom, like when they were talking about points, just like casually while people are running, just be like Team Rack, this many points, Team Shibisu, this many points, just keeping track of things like that so and maybe like showing up the rules every once in a while. Like that's stuff that like wouldn't really hurt that much, or having the characters talk about it. I don't know. Because in the manhwa, you see it very simply because it's literally written in text as you're scrolling through it, and it's fresh in your mind. So, and I think that's important, especially for this episode where they're kind of plotting, because you don't really know what they're doing, but you kind of want to have, like, whenever you're at this part of an anime where it's like they're kind of thinking of like a plan to like rescue the person, you kind of want to think like, what would they do? And how can you think of that if you don't know what the rules are clearly, right? Or if you're not reminded. So it kind of like removes the viewer's way of like thinking of what's going on, I guess. Like you don't have to guess it, but it makes you feel more involved in the story, if that makes any sense. So I kind of don't like that, and I was upset with that from the start. Even when they were doing the Anak versus Rand betting, they didn't really make an emphasis on who won and who lost. And also, like, I feel like anime onlys won't even understand what's going on because they just all of a sudden stop doing the workshop battle, right? They kind of have like this little halftime thing because the tournament on the losers side, I guess, of this thing. So if you think of it like it's kind of like they're in the losers bracket right now with Wangnan and all the other teams besides Fug and
Mad Dog.
and Mad Dog, and whoever wins goes to fight them for grand finals, I guess, if you're like a fighting game enthusiast or something like that. So they're kind of fighting through a bracket right now. They have this little intermission before the semifinals, but they don't really make a point of it.
You don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I feel like you don't know what's going on. And because I didn't know what was going on. I don't know if I wasn't locked in or something like that. Maybe I wasn't, but like I've read this thing before and I know what's supposed to be happening, but I don't see that being conveyed to me. So I worry for anime onlys. I always worry for anime onlys when I'm watching this thing because I'm thinking like, well, what are they thinking? Because they're the new TOG people. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're the people that I hope read it and then enjoy it and then like join the community and stuff like that.
And watch us.
Exactly. Yeah, and watch our series, our reading series of season 2, if you guys are interested. So yeah, that's what I worry about. That they're at least like understanding what's going on. If they don't understand what's going on, they're gonna be like, well, this shit's trash. You know what I mean? Like when it's not, it's very well explained. I never had any issues when I was reading it through, but here, even with knowing it, I have issues. So that was my main issue or problem with this episode. They usually do it pretty good. I'd like to say like passable with the explaining what's going on, but I've noticed, especially in this half of the season, they've sped through a lot of things. So yeah,
the second core,
and that's pretty much it for me. So yeah,
it's crazy.
I'll let you take it over.
All right, cool. So this is where, to kind of touch on some of the things Adrian said, they've done this before. So the first thing that stood out, right, that I'll kind of go over before I get really into my opinions is what Adrian said about the little chibis and everything. I love chibis, right? I'm a person who absolutely loves chibis. I'll tell you this, right? I think this is a little bit of a cop-out, them showing this shit. To me, it almost feels a little weird, right? And the more I saw it, the more I kind of felt this way. At first, I thought it was nice. Maybe, like, they just got worse at doing it, or maybe I realized it more. I'm not sure. But seeing stuff like this, it's sort of, because I know it's in the manhwa, but if I was an anime only, I'd be like, oh, why the hell are they showing it like this? Like, it just gets weird at certain points. Also, this is a big thing that bothered me. We see a foot here. Who is this? Who's in this bed? Who is here? We never know who's here. Like, I'll play the whole thing. Also, Yua's face here looks really weird. Like, there's certain points where
it looks like Dragon Ball Z animated kind
of,
right?
It almost looks like it changed styles. Like, look, there's someone in this bed, right? I'm actually curious now when we look at the manhwa comparison, will we know who that was?
I literally don't know either.
Like, who's in that room with Vespa? And also, for anime onlys, Vespa's a girl, by the way. They still haven't shown that.
Wow,
I don't know
spoiler.
if they're changing it. They don't say it. Like
I think she says she's a queen or something like that. Or honey. Did she say she's a queen honeybee or just a bee?
No, it says like this is where Vespa says like, oh, I'm a honeybee, but there's no gender. There's no gender attached to it. Let me see if I can find it. Well, either way,
it doesn't matter. It's not that important. You can just keep going.
But yeah, no, I think these things kind of, I don't want to say break immersion because there's not much immersion to begin with, right? But
sure,
I just don't. I don't know. I don't like that
they're trying to do a one-to-one. I don't know.
I usually like it, but I don't know what it is with it here. I don't know. It's like kind of like, why are you doing this now? Like, you're choosing to select some things from the manhwa and do a one-to-one, and then other things you're just shitting all over it. It's like,
yeah,
why?
that I don't agree with. 100%. They make some weird decisions where they just change things where they literally didn't have to. It would have been a million times either if they just followed the manhwa. Like when what was it? Bargov was off the perk.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He was going crazy.
Yeah.
Why'd they show him like that? When they looked way cooler in the manhwa. They literally could have just done a still image with his back facing the screen and like showed some spooky music, and that would have been it. They didn't even have to animate that. It would have saved them like $30 of animation or something, and it would have looked better. So I don't know why they did that. And the sound was like scratching plates. It was so bad.
Yeah, but anyway, there was certain things like I just didn't understand, right? One of the things here was Repaletso's face here kept changing. And I was like, bro, this is supposed to be a mask, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, it's so weird what they do. I think it's right here, actually. So Repaletso, oh, maybe it's not here. But, his face actively changed. I was like, what?
Yeah, it does.
His eyes kind of squint here. It's weird. Anyway,
I think they're not comfortable with drawing it for sure. It just looks weird at times.
Yeah. So one of the things I often here it is. Here's the fucking honeybee shit. So one of the main things, right, that I usually give them, right? Look, I'm a honeybee, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't
Okay.
have
Whatever.
gender,
And
but
you still see
anyway.
the foot.
Yeah, we
Whatever.
still don't know who that is. But and oh man, anime onlys don't know, man. Anime onlys don't know what they're seeing here, man. Oh
Yeah.
my god. But either way, extremely important scene right here, just to let you guys know. I won't say why or how, but extremely important. But let's just say it's very Gucci. But yeah, one thing the anime usually does correct and right that I feel like they kind of fucked up with, and I'm surprised you didn't remember it,
Hmm.
or you didn't say it. It's the sound. Like there was moments in the anime in this episode where like usually they do good with the background sound, right? Like
Hmm.
it's pretty good, but some of the sound effects this episode were really jarring and weird. Like
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I know exactly what you're talking
like
about.
right here, right with Kun specifically,
Yeah.
where was it? Where he's
But she was talking
talking
to the snake lady.
yeah, he's talking to the snake lady, and then she's like, "Oh, blah blah blah," whatever. Like right here, I think it's
Yeah,
right
the
here, and
transition.
I'll play it out
The
here.
transition.
Like what the fuck was that? Here, I'll play it longer just so people have like a better thing. Like what the fuck was that? Like
Never
what?
heard that sound
Yeah,
before.
never heard it. Probably never will again. It's very very confusing. It's like there's just some parts that are just so random, but
Yeah.
aside from that, I won't harp too long. I mean, listen, I'm glad we got this, but I won't harp too long on the stuff because it's again more of the usual. It's just always lack of details, weird pacing, weird like choosing where to put some stuff. And it got to the point, right, where I think it was in the beginning here too, where we finally see I don't remember if it was in the beginning or not, but we see the scene where Beta basically fights the guards kind of, right? Also, this I think was done really well. Like this right here, where you see like
Hmm.
him drag his arm out and then you see the blood just come forth, that was good. I was surprised at how good that was. I was like, oh, it almost
Yeah.
gave me like a sliver of hope for like, oh, maybe this
Hmm.
thing will be done well, but it's not. But I'm like, oh damn,
Hmm.
this was bloody and shit. This was cool, very reminiscent of season one. It's like, oh
Exactly.
shit,
Yeah.
right? I was like, damn, that looked really nice, right? But there's just moments where we saw Beta fighting the soldiers, and it's mad late at this point. It's
Yeah.
extremely
It's like you
late.
almost forgot that it happened.
Yeah, and this whole beginning sequence here, or not beginning sequence, but the sequence where Beta is basically talking to himself on the rock, and how like, and also when he talked to Bomb too, how like he wants Bomb to suffer this and that and stuff. That was done previously for the most part when he was at the party when the soldiers confronted him and when he got shot and eventually washed up here. Like
Hmm.
they changed where they're doing things, and it's like I don't know, it's just bad. It's just bad.
Yeah,
But
they're
yeah,
moving way too much. I agree. That's a good point. They're picking pieces of the story and placing them in different parts, so it's like hard to understand what's going on, which is
yeah,
really sad because this is supposed to clear up a lot of the confusion from maybe reading some of the panels, right? And it does the opposite at times. It
yeah. It adds
makes
more
things
to
more
it.
confusing.
Yeah, it's really dumb. But
All right.
yeah. So this is where I'll just basically say like stuff like that kind of upset me. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't too good. It was like it's the more of the usual. It's the more of the usual.
Yeah,
Lack of
yeah.
details. They're switching stuff around, and it's just getting worse and worse because it's like a butterfly effect. Once you diverge a little bit, you eventually keep going, and you get further and further from the start. It wasn't terrible done here because again, there's no fighting, but it's just like this was a setup episode. Also, one other thing I want to say, just to before we go into the comparison, man, like uh fucking Coetro here, I just think he's the foolish character. He is so dumb. He's so like I don't really know if it was different. Like I feel a little bit differently about him in the manhwa, but I feel
I
like in the
agree.
anime he's just a clown. Like he's just
They
here.
overplayed him a little bit. Like
Yeah,
his craziness is a bit overplayed.
like look at him. All he says is I want to burn. I want to burn. Fight, burn, burn, fight. Let me light something on fire. And it's like that's literally his entire character. Like look at him. He looks like a fool. This is always
Yeah.
what he's doing. He's like
It's
a
weird because
clown.
I used to think I thought he was pretty cool when I was reading the manhwa. Like the interesting fact that he's like a very gifted wave controller, yet he like he's a little crazy at the same time. But like here, it
Yeah.
makes me not like him as much. Yeah,
It's
which is kind of
fucking
sad because
stupid.
he's an interesting character.
Yeah, but
Him and
again,
Chang
same thing with Chang, same thing with Bargarv, and same thing with
downgraded a lot of people.
yeah, same thing with Repilalesto over here.
Mm-hmm.
they just are they lost aura. They lost their aura and
Mm-hmm.
they've just become worse. So I'll just
Yeah.
leave it like that. You know, basically same shit. You know, we know what it is. We know what it is. So let's get into the anime manga comparison. Everyone's favorite part. So I believe from last time we were all the way down
We passed
here.
this stuff, yeah.
Yeah, we passed all this. We're gonna have to see where
Mm-hmm.
we were at. Again, Beta Wast on shore, blah blah blah. Okay, so we were past this too. Let me see.
Passed
Where
all
were
this as
we?
well.
Past all this. Yeah. Oh wow. So I went back really far. Okay. Yeah, we saw
Yeah.
this.
Passed, yeah.
Okay. So everyone's summoned. Okay, we were basically right here with the next chapter.
Maybe the next episode,
Yeah,
yeah.
right here. So he already gave us this backstory. We talked about all this. Okay, wait, no, I probably near the end of
Oh,
this. Here we go. Here we go.
more.
Yeah,
Okay, we
here,
got the
here.
stab.
So we'll stay right here, right? So, you
Mm-hmm.
know, we kind of get a hint for who this is. We kind of already saw this part. Beta fingers him. He tickles him a little bit, you know. And then we see Emily. So a little bit of a different thing, right? We
Yeah.
saw her egg thing, which I think actually looked cool. I'll be honest, in the anime, I don't mind that they show this because this is not bad quality. Like, the Emily egg is pretty good
Mm-hmm.
quality. A little bit of a difference though, but you know, here we see her just chilling. And then here this looks really fucking cool. Like Beta looking like this looks really, really fucking cool. They tried to do it in the anime. I think they did it all right. That whole sequence in the beginning really looked good to me. But here, you know, Beta's like, you know, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna fuck your friends up. The Archimedes is moving, and then you know, Io and Punk they kind of announce, hey, you know, now this is what happened with the teams. We see more emotion from Kuhn's face though. Like Kuhn's face there looks way cooler. But either way, you know, the Archimedes is coming again. The Archimedes looks fucking huge. In the anime, it looks wiener as usual. Here we see someone talking with this person, right? We don't know who these are, right? And this is where in the anime you can kind of guess maybe a little bit better because you can hear the voices. So
Mm-hmm.
in the manga, I actually remember I was like, oh man, I wish I knew who this was. There's like it's hard to tell. In the anime, it might be a little bit easier, but I still couldn't really pick it out. But here, you know, just to kind of reiterate, it's not the needle, it's the thorn. So, you know, even though they say the needle, that's retconned. But here, you know, we basically see the same shit. And then here we see Vespa kind of, you know, doing stuff. And in the anime, this was a weird part too. Again, with the sound. Also, we see someone on Vespa's back. That was
Mm-hmm.
never in the anime. I wonder where
Mm.
he's at, right?
Maybe that's the person on the bed. But it's kind of weird they didn't
Oh,
show it.
yeah, maybe. But we wouldn't know. I don't think.
Let's keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, I don't think Lori would have pink socks, though.
No, I wouldn't think so either. But it's
It's the
that's my
best
next
guess.
best guess.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the best guess. But in the anime, when Vespa was kind of hopping around, Vespa was like making fluttering sounds, even though their wings weren't moving. It was really weird. Here we actually see, you know, Vespa actually fucking people up and shit. You know, small
Mm-hmm.
things, but again, details, right? So Vespa says, you know, I haven't transformed yet, but I'm winning. I'm so cool. Blah blah blah. And then, you know, we get the breaking news. Everyone's confused. And look, Hots comes out here. Way more aura. It
Way
looks
more
like he's
rugged.
been through a, yeah, it looks like he's been through a
Yeah.
battle. He has some blood on him. He's disheveled.
Right, because he tried to fight Beta at the top.
Yeah, but
Was it him
again,
or was it Lero? I think it was him.
I don't remember. I don't
Because if it
know.
was Lero, I think he would have gotten Beta.
Oh,
Because
well,
Lero would have
absolutely.
definitely stopped him.
Yeah, he's a ranker. So this is just the sad part, man, where it's like we skip so many things where again I think anime onlys and you know I might get shot for saying this but I think you guys are part of the problem because I feel like you guys don't really care like all these missing details all this very generic shit it's like it's enough for most of the
Well,
anime
it's the ignorance
enjoyers.
is bliss. It's
Yeah, they
because they
don't
don't
know.
know.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
know, so I partly feel
I mean,
bad
it's
for you but
fine. But I think every anime only has been told read it. So if they read it, they'll wisen up or they'll figure things out.
yeah but I
I
also
don't
don't
blame the
think
anime
they
onlys.
I don't think they fully care though. I feel like they're okay with the simpleness of it.
Yeah, all I have to say is like for anime onlys, if they don't like it, at least like if they like it, okay, whatever. But if they don't like it, then they should definitely read because it's a completely different feel.
Yes, always read. But here, you know, so here we see, you know, Hots and Vespa interacting. He's telling everyone the tea, you know, and this is where Rack is like, no, he wouldn't run away. They're kind of trying to figure out
Mhm.
what's going on. And this is where we kind of see a little bit of a different thing. You know, Rack is calling them an Angola turtle, but in the thing he called them something else. I forgot what he called them. I don't know why Kun made Rack cover his face. I was really confused about that. I don't know why they did that, but either way, right? Here they're all going to the little mansion to rest. You know, we see the little robot, and everyone's doing their thing. They put a lot more emphasis, I feel like, on Quattro in the anime, where in the manhwa they kind of, he's just kind of in the background, right? I
Yeah, it's
think,
like side stuff.
yeah, I think when they're focusing on him, I don't know why. Like again, these are the questions I have. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
they should keep him in the background like that. Like, let him say his stuff in the background. Don't let him be in the forefront of the
Don't
conversation.
focus it because it's the same thing every time with him.
Yeah, it wastes time to tell the story.
But yeah, so either way, here Kun is gonna go like check the record or check the video. He's telling them check the rooms, and everyone's just confused, right? So same thing, just obviously more details, more character interactions for the most part, right? And then we see these people come in. They're basically bad mouthing Biole, right? And everyone's pissed. They're like, "Wow, you're really shit talking him. You don't even know." Here, Kun is seeing the shit. Here, we don't get the fucking video game animation of Bomb running up the stairs, so that's cool. Here, Kun's trying to figure it out. Then the Snake Lady comes in, who again, if you're a manhwa reader, you know more about her than we do in the anime. When I saw her, I was like, wait, is that Apple or something? Like, what the hell? But then I remembered, oh, it's one of the captains. It's one of the gamblers. It's Mia. So either way, this is where she knows that Kun is Kun, right? And she knows everything because Bug planted these people here because guess what? Basically, Mia here, the snake lady, knows Kun is Kun because they've been planted because they want to kill all of the teammates of Bomb anyway. And we kind of see this later on. They do mention it again, but we know that they're all here and Fug actually wanted them here because they're using them as leverage to basically strong arm Bomb into doing what they want. So this is where we got the weird audio cue in the anime. Here it kind of is more, better, right? We see Kun kind of a little upset, like, oh man, this whole thing is a trap, what the fuck? This is the first time I think we've really seen Kun have one over on him, where he's like been duped, because he's typically the smart one too. But then look who comes in, the other smart one, Shabis! And this is where I think the verbiage was different in the anime. I think Shibisu in here is a little bit more vulgar. He calls him a bastard. I think in the anime, he just calls him like an idiot or something, right? What does he call him here? God damn it. Let me see. Yeah, he calls him an idiot. In the manga, he's a little bit more violent. He's like,
They're
"Oh,
keeping
you
it shonen.
bastard." Yeah. We're keeping it PG. So here we see the big boy team, right? We see
We never saw this episode.
yeah, this is sad, man. We see
Like,
Horyang,
they're like moving
Novik.
shit around.
Yep. So we're probably gonna see this next episode, if anything. God, Novik and Horyang are such a big combo.
Yeah, they're beefy
Yeah, and then
duo.
and then we have this mystery person who we still don't know, but we kind of do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here, we're figuring out
We
why
have
did Fug
lore.
betray them. Oh shit, we see some aura characters here. Wow. We see
Mm-hmm.
the elders that are involved and some of the slayers as well. Also, I don't want to spoil anything. We kind of know some people here, but I believe this little shadow right here is definitely Madarako. I think that has to be
That
Madarako,
does look like
maybe.
him. Yeah.
But either way, again, we're skipping all these details. We see Vargarv and Repulalesto joining forces. And they're like, wow, they learned the whole plan. So then, after skipping that part in the anime, we get to Beta on the rock. This is where the anime, I think, kind of did it really somewhat well, because the sound was good for
Mm,
this part, but in another way, it was really confusing because
yeah.
we don't know who
This
the
one gives you
fuck
more
is there.
context.
Yeah, as always, right? The details. So here, we don't see who he's looking at. In the anime, they did show, and I was confused. I was like, who the fuck is that? But here, we see Beta's past. We see kind of what he's went through. Although he has described it, which again the anime skipped. But he's described, why he's doing what he's doing more before this. This is where he kind of did it more. Here we never got this either. We see the flashback of Kasano coming, right? So we basically figure out Beta's entire thing is he wants freedom, and by doing this, he's gonna get it. And then he says the same thing, Bomb, he wants him to feel pain, and then for some reason he's gonna kill his friends too, as if they had anything to do with it. And that's basically that right there. So moving on, we see Bomb is all the way at the bottom here. This is where I think the anime did a good thing, though, where the thorn was like pulsating, like the red ring every so often, which I think was pretty cool. And again, they're still calling it the needle, but in the anime it was animated, which was really cool. I like how just every so often it would just pulse for some reason. No rhyme or reason, but it looked cool. So here we can see that Bomb basically can't use Shinsu because of this water thing. And again, more details here, right? It's coming from there. It's trapping his Shinsu. It's absorbing it. We never heard this in the anime, but we can, again, as always, assume we can make the logical jump. And then we have Repililesto here coming, and he's like, oh, shit. Even Bomb, still while being trapped, is like, oh, Mr. Reflejo, right? He's always about honorifics. So here, Reflejo, in his good mask, too, the mask that doesn't really change, right? Bomb was like, oh, you were planning to fuck me from the beginning. Something he never said. In the anime, it's more one-sided, with Reflejo kind of just like, dumping on him. And in here, it's more of a back and forth a little bit, right? He's like, oh, do you think you can be forgiven after all this? And this is where, again, right, it's more this butterfly effect that happened where at the end of the day, in the manhwa, we see that Repililesto, he kind of held up his end of the bargain until Bomb did his thing. And then it was said like, oh yeah, he broke it first, now we can fuck him, right?
Right. But
In
they're
the
also
anime,
kind of guilt tripping him.
yeah, I mean,
Because
at the end of the
it never
day,
really was Bomb's fault.
yeah, at the end of the day, like, Bomb, is innocent. They're kind of strong arming him. They're blackmailing him.
Yeah.
And even if he didn't
Also,
break the rules, they still would have probably done this.
exactly. Yeah. Fug already planned it from the start to have all of his friends here in the first place, too. So with that close proximity, it's only a matter of time since they figure him out. So it's almost
Yeah.
like they planned for them to find Bomb so that they could use this reason, like, I knew you were trying to escape.
Yeah, they're
But
kind of pinning
moral of
it
the
on
story
him.
is it's kind of a light thing. They were going to do it anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah. They
but
don't like Bomb.
yeah, they're just trying to say like it's your fault though we're doing
Yeah,
this, even though
this
they would have
faction
done
of
it
Fug does
anyway.
not like Bomb, and they don't think that he is capable of doing what they want him to do.
Yeah. So
So,
this is where they said it in a different way, but same effect. They're like, oh, we're gonna make a weapon that can't really disobey us. Here, a weapon is more controllable than humans, right? Unlike humans.
exactly.
So here, and you mentioned this to me when we were watching it, right?
Yeah, this is such a small detail that like frustrates me. The Archimedes has little tiny hands holding this bucket, and I thought it was really cute, but they just took it out for no reason. So it made
Also,
me
the bucket
sad.
looks different too. The bucket's like a
It
black
does look a
ball
little
here.
different, yeah.
But yeah, so here we see Reflejo with a lot of aura, right? In the
Mm-hmm.
anime, his hands are like human colored hands. In the manga, again, he's like fully like metallic. Like this shit looks cool. Like he doesn't even
Yeah.
have eyes here. Like
You
yo,
never
this shit
really
looks
see his skin or
crazy
anything, where it's like here he just looks like a normal, like in the anime he looks like a normal dude
with the
who just wears a
mask.
mask, yeah.
Yeah, it's really dumb. But either
Mm-hmm.
way, he's being like, kind of kind, but an ass. He's like, oh yeah, make yourself at home. Here he's saying like, oh, get some rest until then, right? He's being a little asshole. So here we see more of Bomb's inner thoughts again, something we never get, right? He kind of just said like, oh, I'm putting everyone in danger. Here he's kind of thinking more, again, more details, right? And he's like, okay, I got to get out of here. So then we push back to Kun and Shabis. Again, we just see more emotion in Kun's face. In the anime, it felt like I didn't see this level of emotion, as usual, right? And then, here we see a callback to season one, ironically enough, where in the anime this didn't happen, where someone behind him, we hear a little clank here, we know who it is. Hots calls him earrings, because that's what he called him in season one when they made fun of each other. So, call back to season one. Again, I don't think we got that in the anime, so just missing. It's not a crucial detail, but it's a detail that matters. It helps connect things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it shows there's consistency, right? So here we get the same instance, oh, I see you changed your weapon, right? But here we see something that Hots never said in the anime. He said, I want to blow your head up right now. Like, but he's not going to do it. It's like, damn, they kind of just made Hots a little more peaceful, which is weird. But here, Hots tells him, yeah, I know what happens. We're all on the same page. Mr. Rowe told me, and he's here too, right? So now basically we're getting to the point. Oh, actually, wait. Oh, so they switched it around. They
Mm-hmm.
switched this to way after here. Wow. You look, and here's Vespa, yo.
And look who's there. You can confirm it now.
Yeah, now it's Laura. So we know it's Laura.
It is
He's wearing
Laura.
pink
Mm-hmm.
socks. That's
Which
crazy.
this is another. I think I'm gonna call this. This is another instance that the anime like completely forgot something, like how they did with the love fight. How it like ended with Wangnan switching the remotes. Right
Yeah.
here, they not once was it mentioned that they summoned
Lore.
Lore, and Lore is, kind of an important guy. He's a very good Shinsu user, so
He's a
it's
wave
kind of weird that
controller.
they just show his feet there, but never really showed, like they could have showed him on Vespa's back at the very least. That seems like a very simple thing to add, but I literally think it's a detail they forgot, which
Yeah.
upsets me a little bit.
It's like they copied the panel, but they forgot who it was, and like anime
Exactly,
onlys aren't
and
gonna
no
know
one
who
asked
that
any
is.
questions like, "Hey, excuse me, who is this person?"
Yeah.
Like I've said it before. I feel like the people who run this season haven't read, or some of them have not read the manhwa or are not familiar with it enough. They
It's
should have
really sad.
if they had a question, they should have asked someone. You know what I mean? Like you could have went anywhere and figured out these answers.
They were
It's
just
not
getting
that
a
hard.
paycheck.
Or consult the manhwa. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whoever's in
God forbid
charge.
they talk to SIU, right?
Yeah, whoever's in charge of like quality control for this thing really screwed up in a lot of ways, especially in like part 1 of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of instances where they literally just forgot plot points and just continued the story at times.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
it's so sad. But
Yeah,
either way,
carry on.
we switch back to Hots and Kun. Everyone's telling everything. Again, we're getting a lot more details here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because here we see that Ro thought that Viol and Bomb looked like each other. Wow, what a shocker, right? The teacher was like, wait a minute, he kind of looks like my student. So guess what? He had a feeling, he looked around, and he did all this shit. And again, we missed the big thing where Ro and Quatra, right? Or not Quatra, Quants.
Mm-hmm.
Ro and Quants basically went to a whole other floor, and we saw what they're doing in the intermediate time.
It was like a whole chapter or two that was skipped, yeah.
Yeah, it's so stupid. But either way, he keeps calling him earrings, and then Kun says, oh yeah, I learned this from Emily, right? So we kind of see the whole thing where it's like, oh yeah, someone, which we're assuming is on the team of Nobik and, Horiang, is kind of leaving them clues because it's in Emily, right? So here they're figuring everything out. Again, a lot more cool shit here.
More
a lot
details
more cool images
about how the ignition weapons work and the study behind it. Yep.
Fug is trying to basically melt Viol and make him into the prize, which we
with
already knew.
Regular power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but now they're like finding that out too. They did say this in the anime just a lot quicker, as always.
Yeah.
Right? So here, again, look at Kun's eyes, right? Like Kun is like shocked, and then he's even more shocked. In the anime, you don't feel this shit. Anyway, here we get like a nice little scene of them trying to like fuck up Vespa. We never got this, right? We got this part here where it's like, oh, I'm a honeybee here to rule the humans, right? So I guess it's later on that Vespa reveals they're female, but either way, we can see they're trying to fight Vespa. I don't know where Wangnan got this like bug slapper, but whatever, right? So here, Kun comes in. Also, Rak calls him White Turtle instead of Blue Turtle, so they did change that. But, Kun is serious now. Again, you see the facial animations, man. This shit's crazy. So here, he tells everyone what's up. Everyone's shocked. They're like, oh my god, they're going to melt Bomb. What's happening? And everyone's like, wow. Rak is upset. He's like, oh, why didn't you tell us sooner? Obviously, Hots was in the middle of stuff. And so here we get confirmation, right? Here we see the flashback. And in the anime, we only see this for the first time. This is just a flashback of what happened, right? So it was actually Hots. This confirms it was Hots. So
yeah, and that he tried to stop Beta.
Yeah, and he also shot Beta too, but Beta somehow never got the wound or something. Who knows, right? But here,
Also, Shibisu's not in the shower with him.
Yeah, I mean, Shibisu wasn't in the shower anyway. He was outside the door, even in the anime.
Yeah, no? Wait, wasn't he in there?
No. He was outside the door.
He was in there.
Look, he's on the wall. Look.
Oh.
Yeah, look. He's on the outside. He goes inside later on.
Oh, he goes inside later on?
I think so, yeah, because then they start facing
there's no way.
each other.
I thought he was inside.
Nah. Look.
I was inside waiting for him.
Oh, look. He's out the door.
Okay.
Wait. Okay, wait, maybe you're right. Oh, shit.
He's in!
Alright, so Shibisu wanted to look at his piece, I guess. I don't know. But either way, so yeah, they say obviously they can't say anything because rankers from Fug are here and they're watching them because this whole thing was planned, right? And this is where Shibisu kind of tells them, and they're pissed, right? Because they're using them to fuck with Bomb, and now everyone knows, and now Kun is pissed, right? But Kun is like, you know what? I'm not giving up. It's not done till the fat lady sings. Till the
Yeah, and
Repalesto
Lero
takes
gives them
off
an
his
important
mask.
hint.
Yep. Just
Ro gives them an
follow the
important hint. They got to
rules.
play the game. Yeah.
Just follow the rules and he'll handle everything else, right? So Rack at this point is pissed. He's leaving. We see this exact scene in the anime. And then Kun kind of like, reversals him. He's like, oh yeah, I'll go with you, right? This is where in the manhwa they didn't make a big deal out of it. In the anime, they wasted time by having the little interaction where Rack was like, "Wait, what? Oh, I thought you'd be against it, right?" So here, they ask Kotz how long it is. Again, it's like little things like that where it's like, why are they wasting time on that? But either way, they're like, "Oh, how long do we have?" And Kuna's like, "All right, let's summon Bomb. That's the plan. Within the 2 hours, it's probably not going to be here. The game's going to start. Let's get him, right?" So here we also see they staged a prison coup. This is where
Yeah.
they changed the clothing of the prisoners too. They're wearing gray here. I believe in the anime they were wearing blue. Yeah, they're
I think they
wearing
were.
blue.
Oh, were they? Oh.
Yeah, they're wearing all blue
Oh
for some
yeah, yeah, I
reason.
see it. Small detail. That's whatever.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but it's like I don't know why they like to change these things. But either way, we see again, right? We see how they got them out. We don't really care in the anime, but here they at least tell us, oh yeah, a problem arose in the Shinsu barrier system. We see the shocking. We see that Ro probably did something here, right? And then Ro is on the radio with someone. We get this part, right? We see he's Senhatsu. This is a nice little thing they did in the anime. If you didn't know it was Ro, now you know, obviously. I mean,
You
obviously
mean the
the
manhwa?
anime.
They
Yeah,
didn't do it in
yeah.
the anime.
Yeah. Well, no, in the anime,
we heard his
we
voice.
heard his voice. That's the main difference, right? So
Yeah.
if you know
Whereas
the
like
voice,
in the manhwa,
yeah.
there is no voice, so they show him like this.
Yeah. So here, we cannot give up. Obviously, here we have Madarako. We never saw this part, right?
We did see
Oh no,
it,
we
but it was
did.
a little
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
So
Like the person there
Madarako
was
had a
like some
different
armored dude.
guy. Yeah, we just saw it here. It was weird. Let's see. I think this room looks cool though. It looks a lot darker. I like the theme of the room, but
His gamer
obviously,
area.
yeah, obviously changed details. Here it's obviously dark, but they don't show it off as much, right?
Yeah,
Then
it's fine.
Madarako's like, oh, do they think they could actually do something? Here we see Traveler. Same thing in the anime. We've seen for like 2 seconds, and that's it. And then we keep going. So here the game starts. Again, we're getting a lot more details
More
about what
details.
the rules are. We never get that shit. We see what has to happen, right? Four teams will fight in the same field. The 2 teams that beat the other teams will survive, right? And then the 2 surviving teams will go to the finals. Cool.
It's a bracket.
Yeah. And then they fight for the Thorn, obviously.
Yep.
So they come out, this is where I feel like now I'm spoiling a little bit because I think they're going to go into this next episode, but, they always like to move shit around. Either way, we see a flashback now. They're saying they're going to summon Viol, right? And then, this is where he said he'll take care. So a little different here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not he'll take care of everything, he'll take care of the consequences. Interesting. Because we know rankers are here that are going to step in if things don't go according to what they want. So,
yep.
Big issue potentially if rankers get involved. They're not supposed to, but if they do, right? So here, Kun is basically saying there's 3 more people from Fug, Horiang, Novik, and the Scout. How do you know that? Oh, it's from Emily, right? We already kind of went over this in the anime too.
Yeah.
The Emily knows this, so they're leaving them breadcrumbs. But, we can summon Bomb. The whole team plan is let's summon Bomb, right? And, he does... So, obviously, Kun doesn't really know anyone else but Novik. But he's like, oh, since Novik's there, then, we have to trust them. I don't think they really said it like that in the anime. I think Kun was just like, oh, we don't really have any other option. Here, it's because Novik's there. He has trust in Novik, because Novik was one of the few people who didn't betray him, right? So, here, we get the same interaction with Shibisu and Hats, how they're like, oh, wow, it's hard to believe that Kun is actually trusting someone. And then here we could see, just like they thought, they're leaving them breadcrumbs. And then, the Scout is glazing Kun a little bit, right? The Scout's like, oh, he'll figure it out. He's a smart one. So the Scout knows Kun. And, we kind of got teased more in the manhwa who it is than the anime. But the smart people will know who it is. You should know. But either way, right? They're getting ready to summon Viol. Here we see, again, Quattro. Quattro is not getting center stage here as always in the anime. He was bouncing around being a fool as usual, right? And now we're getting, more of what we got in the anime. We're seeing who's paired with who, why, and what's going on, what's the game plan. You know, Arc Raptor's hiding, Vespa's just there, right? We're gonna have standby people. Now we see though they're working together. Like, you know, I don't know if this is against the rules or not, but they're now working together because they don't even really care about the game anymore. They just care about getting Bomb, because obviously that's way more important because he's gonna get you know, he's gonna get melted. So here, you know, we see a little bit of a different thing with Kun, a little bit different dialogue. Kun's like, you know, we can reminisce, and in the end, he's like, oh, we can reminisce when this shit's over. Here he's like, once Bomb returns, right? Bomb is the goal. So here they begin,
Yep. That's
and then that's it. Yeah. So we'll leave it there. But is that how it ended too? Yeah, it's right.
That is how it ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty close to ending. Not too much. They really switched around compared to like last episode, I guess. But
oh my god, yeah, they moved so much shit.
Yeah. So that's the comparison. Again, it's just the usual shit, man.
Yeah.
And there was times where, you know, I don't really mention it, but it still happens. I noticed the eyes are misaligned. I noticed all these little things. It's degraded quality, skip details, moved around details, focusing on a different thing.
Forgetting Lore.
Forgetting Lore. Like, again, it's like you tell someone to read it and they don't care, so they just copy it. It's like, it's what it is. But that's pretty much the episode and the comparison. Do you have anything else to add, Adrian, at the end here? Did you remember anything?
That's it for me. I think we covered pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, so same shit as usual. It's the same shit. You know, we're almost done, though. Like I said, I'm hoping we just blitz through this thing. I'll be happy if it's less episodes, although it's rushed. But if it's already busted, it's like the fox with its leg in the trap. Just get rid of the leg, man. Workshop battle's fucked. Sadly. It is what it is. But either way, we'll be back next week to review the next episode, sadly. We hope everyone enjoyed, and we hope you watch us live at Twitch TV/Tecnics channel, where we react to the actual reading, which is way better, or you can watch the VODs all the way on the Tecnics YouTube, which is where you're probably viewing this. But either way, we hope everyone enjoyed. We'll see you next time.